Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is the 9th of August 2018. Hopefully you're having a lovely week. We have some news. I know, last time didn't have so much news, but yes, there is news to cover. So let's jump into Marvel Contest of Champions news. Roll the goddamn intro. We are back on Marvel Contest of Champions news. We have some stories about safety. We have stories that really show frustration from players about alliance wars and game outages, right the way through to some other piddly crap with some cinematic crystals and yada yada. Lots of interesting stories. Didn't really sell it there. Good job, Rich. But let's jump into them. Our first story is more of a reminder about cyber safety, and that is coming from Graeme Mike, who essentially just says, right, you know, don't give your account details to any other person, even for the sake of doing the whole kind of account sharing thing where someone will move your account and do stuff in game for you. And the next thing is maybe those services that say, right, well, I'll complete Labyrinth for Legends if you pay me X amount of money. You don't know whether or not to trust them. And the other side of things is it's breaching the term of service. There's also the third party kind of unit based kind of situations where you can buy reduced units, what seems to be reduced units, and I think how these companies work is they then use fraudulent credit cards to then purchase and then claim back or use. It's a very odd game to go and experience to kind of explain to people. There are people that have done it, there are people of notoriety that have done it, and Graeme Mike and Graeme in general are just saying don't do it because it does breach to terms of service and can lead to a ban. Next up, and the speculation, rumour mill, sort of truth aspect to September and October champions have been talked about and to a degree sort of leaked. There is some information here which I'm not 100% on the source of it, but if it is of correct nature, then it will be a case that this is teased information. This particular section of article, and again, I'm not 100% sure on the source to kind of say yes, this is 100% accurate or 100% this is fake, does quote that we should be expecting a Venom movie version. A lot of players may feel kind of indifferent about this, whether or not we feel we should get one, and are we going to have this big thing this year about movie reskins, because essentially we are going to go and do reskins of Captain Marvel and yeah, Venom. Are we going to see any more? But what are they really likely to do? Yes, we do have Miss Marvel, yes we do have Captain Marvel, but changing them again, maybe it would have been a good idea to maybe go back and reskin Captain Marvel to maybe the appearance that's close to the movie and add in a whole bunch of stuff with improvement synergy. Maybe it increased her improvement ability, though I personally think that she's fine the way she is. But again, people may feel indifferent about that. We've also been given spoilers that Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister will be coming into the game. Again, I don't know 100% where this source comes from, so I don't want to say this is definitely true or definitely false. Either way, two champions or two characters from the Marvel Universe that I'd really like to see. Mr. Sinister hasn't entered into the MCU. He's been teased largely through stuff with Logan, but when it comes to Apocalypse, obviously we've seen him in the new version of the Marvel MCU for mutants and X-Men, and whether or not when everything gets rebooted, are we going to see that in future kind of any great improvement? I don't know. Either way, two fantastic mutant based characters are going to be coming into the game, so pretty happy about that. Oh, and forgot to say, Nova is mentioned in this, so if again this proves to be correct, then we should see Nova at some point, maybe this year or next year. A lot of people have their own kind of speculations, and in this forum post, if you go to the link in the description, you can have your say and maybe other characters that you feel would kind of best fit. Next up, we've got Arena. We've got Yondu going into the featured, and we've got Killmonger going into the basic. Yondu, I think, and my prediction is him going for anything around 22 to at least 27 mil for the 5-star. The 4-star, I think, probably going just over about 6 mil. However, though, the optimist in me says that he'll probably go for around about 5.6 mil. But I reckon 7 mil is a definite safety for this particular champion. I don't think he's going to go completely ridiculously high. And then when we go into the basic, the Killmonger. Now, 3.4 mil, I'm pretty certain you'll get him. I have seen people say that they'll put up to about 4 mil. You'll be safe with that. But if you're looking to be comfortable, then 3.3 to 3.4 mil may land him. If you look at other champions that have had good popular stance with the amount of million points that they go for, then yeah, okay. Hulk Ragnarok, for example. Void. Champions that went close to that 3.2, 3.3 mark. And that seems to be a good thing to shoot for popular 4 stars when they go into the basic. Next up, and let's talk about the kind of solution to the problem with the cinematic events. So yeah, one thing about cinematic events is you need certain champions in order to access certain parts of the weekly cinematic thing that's going on for Gwenpool. And players may go like, hey, I don't have that certain champion. And the solution to this is the 1v1 quick match crystal, the cinematic crystal, 2-star version that has been put in. For every time you do a quick match, then you get a crystal back. Hopefully, and I don't know if this is Kabam's logic, fingers crossed, you'll be able to get your hands on certain champions that you may not have, and that will give you quick access. Granted, you will have 4 strong champions and maybe 1 weak champion to go through, but you should only need that in order to get through. So yeah, if you're stuck for a champion, make sure you do the 1v1s quite a bit in order to kind of access those 2 stars in order to get the champions to get you through the gates. Because, yeah, gates are a bit of an issue, but the type of champions that you'll need are listed here. It's always best to kind of see about getting those crystals now, getting the champions before the event ends on the 8th of September. Next up, and a possible problem with a small solution, is the cinematic event that's currently going on. So Gwenpool Goes to the Movies has been a very good progressional thing. This is done you know, on a weekly basis. And one thing that's great is you don't rush the content. Fantastic. Players are rushing at the moment to complete uncollected, as well as decent things that are going on in Arena. We'll have at a certain point the dungeons coming back in, so it's important not to overload us with content. So it's good. This progressional 1 week thing is quite great. But there is a problem, and the problem is having the champions available. As you can see, the gates listed here are the certain champions you'll need. And some players may be voicing their concern and going, hey, I don't have that champion. I can't go through that gate. Well, Kabam have a way in order to sorting that out, and that is the cinematic crystal. If you do 1v1 quick matches, you will get access to a crystal. This crystal will give you a chance of getting some of these champions. So if you were that, a Iron Man Infinity War version, or even a Wasp, then you can do that or get that possibly from that quick match crystal. Now, it's important to start now and try and see if you can get it. I laugh because it could be one of these things that your luck may not be in to get one of these new champions. Like, I don't think I've got Wasp, and I actually don't think I've got Iron Man Infinity War. I may have them at 2-star, but I'm not 100% sure. So I will need to kind of grind out to see if I can get those 2 before the well, the last week. So yeah, good luck to people trying to do that as well, and those that don't have those champions and are frantically grinding out to get them. And for those interested, this is what a 2-star crystal looks like. Next up, and the memes keep rolling in. We covered the post a while ago, but the memes keep coming in on the memes thread. Kabam are like, oh yeah, we don't mind memes, it's fine. Yeah, nearly about 40,000 views later and a load of comments. I bet they're thinking otherwise. So it's always good to see that the community is sticking it to the man, or the Kabam, as we've got this lovely meme here. I'm not always chosen, but when I am, I one-shot bosses. Yeah, it's so true and so refreshing to see that. I'm glad the community had to work around this. So props to the first person that came up with that idea. January event quest collector. Thanos Infinity War. Uncollected Hydra Adaptoid. Yeah, but we've got the workaround, so that's cool. There's lots of kind of like really kind of like fun and decent memes. I mean, this glitch meme is just, it is annoying. It is annoying for a lot of players. I always like seeing them. I think now it's become a bit of a dead meme because we've kind of like gone for the first week. This was funny, and then after the first week, I think the community then goes, oh god, it's got to be sorted out. Come on. And if you are interested in the memes, then go to the link in the description. It will take you to the hilarity. Next up, and I wanted to bring this post to everyone's attention. It is quite important, and as well, it's got a good amount of traction to make me feel that yes, a lot of players are getting behind this, and that is the feelings towards how Alliance War Season started and the extent of game outages that we've seen. So as you know, in the last few days there has been a lot of downtime, emergency maintenance, some prolonged downtime we weren't expecting, connection problems, those kind of things, especially over the weekend. And as you know, over the weekend we were more stronger into Alliance Wars Seasons, which does create a lot of problems for players, from finding a battle and finding a war essentially, as well as trying to find time to kind of get in amongst all this downtime to move, take down bosses and do other things. In some cases players may be late to the game to then put in the defense for Alliance Wars, and that may be their fault. That may be the fact that their team is then involved in something else like Labyrinth of Legends. I don't really know. I can't really comment on your own experience and what you're up to in game. But this has led players with a lot of sour tastes in their mouth when trying to be competitive in Alliance Wars Season 3. Some players have taken to the forums to voice their concerns and explain their place and what they plan to do. Some alliances have said that up in the higher tiers, the master level, they are shooting for top performance, and a loss based on not having that time allocated to take down enemy bosses is causing their season to be theoretically ruined. Now there are some players that then speak out about this in a case that they don't actually think there's too much of an issue. It just adds to the competitive and kind of fair/unfair side of the game. Either way, this forum post has been given no response by any of the head honchos, Kabam Mike, Adora, etc. So where do you lie on this? Do you think that we should be more fair to these people that want to shoot for this stuff, and having the unfair aspect of the game outages has made that experience bad for their season progression? Or do you not really care too much and go, well, this is just part of the game, we should just get on with it? How do you lie on this subject? Next up, we've got this post here which confuses me a little bit. So this particular post, there's this information about saying, oh, thank you to Kabam. I don't know if it's sarcastic. It's hard to understand the tone with this. But essentially, yeah, it says, thank you to Kabam for solving the problem with the this is compensation. So putting the Gwenpool event in and then adding in the idea behind the Versus Crystal and getting that cinematic crystal, the 2-star, in order to get those gates opened to progress through, is in some way compensation or kind of rectifying the issue of that. And the whole compensation matter is all about getting a full 5-star crystal, and just talking about compensation. A lot of players respond to this in a very kind of confused way, but essentially saying this was not compensation. And Kabam Lyra even goes to respond to this and say that this is not intended as compensation, which with the terminology and the way it's said, does this mean that we are indeed going to see compensation for the heating issue or overheating issue with iPhones? Don't know, but this is kind of an interesting way to phrase it. Maybe different for different countries. Maybe I'm taking it in a different light, but to me it kind of suggests that there is an intention to put a compensation out there. Otherwise, would it have said something like, oh, we're not addressing the overheating compensation issue, or this is not intended as compensation, we're looking into that at a later date? I don't know, I'm pretty confused by this, whether or not this goes a little bit deeper than we might think. So now that has been Marvel Contest of Champions news for the 9th of August 2018. On a personal note, I've not been live streaming, and that's because I'm trying to make extra videos to go out over the weekend, as I'm going to do a bit of landscaping of my garden. As we're getting the back part landscaped, I need to do something with the front, and I'm going to see Ant-Man and Wasp. I've also got this here, so this is going to be a streaming laptop to then run stuff downstairs for Frank's channel when he does live streaming. Yeah, Tortoise is going to live stream, as well as doing recording elements for the PS4 stuff. So I've got a load of new kit coming in, and we're going to try that out and experiment a little bit to see if we can do stuff. So I've got to set this up with a few things and get all those kind of settings right and on point. But either way, that's what I'm up to over the weekend. So a lot of the content has been a little bit filler, and I haven't been live streaming, but I hope to do at least one live stream on Friday. So if you're about, then drop on in. May do it early, I don't know. And also maybe the idea of doing Marvel Contest of Champions live streaming, and also having a live feed to Frank's live stream as well. So that could be a thing. and let me know on social media, maybe even in the comment section, if that's something you'd like to see. But yeah, either way, thank you very much for watching this video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you want to follow the channel for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content, hit notifications on, as well as I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.